Hello everyone and welcome along to the 2016 Super Rugby preview of round number 1. We have a pile of matches here in this opening round of the competition. This little weekly episode show hopefully will be going through results of previous weeks, coming up who's going to win these matches, and if I'm feeling game enough, give you guys also a margin as well as a reason or two why I think each team will win, what I'm looking forward to seeing as well. Most importantly, this is hopefully an episode's future that I would like to get up a lot earlier than this one, but I really wanted to see who the teams actually announced for these opening rounds, see who's going to take the risk going full hog into their opening matches, or some may sit back and look to play the squad game. So all the teams have been announced and we can dig in and have a look at who I think will win and where they will be meeting as well. First up, we have the opening match of the 2016 Super Rugby season. It is the Blues versus the Highlanders, the carryover defending champions. This one though is at Eden Park in Auckland, the Blues at home, which is going to be huge. This one has potential to go either way. We don't know a huge amount about the Blues, but what I really think is going to be interesting from this match is going to be how Marcel adapts and grows into this game of Super Rugby. He's going to be my one to watch, whether he can step up. As for the Highlanders, for them it's just a matter of continuing where they left off. Can they do it? The team is about the same. That is a big question over them. For this one, game number 1, I've gone Highlanders 32-19 over the Blues. Into game number 2, and it's another cracker. The finalist from 2015, the Hurricanes, are travelling across to Canberra Stadium to face one of the best looking Australian sides, the Brumbies. This one's going to be massive, and I've pinpointed myself one thing that I think is going to decide this matchup. It is numbers 12 and 13, the centres, the midfield, the inside and outside centre, call them what you like, but Matt Tamua and Tavita Kurandrani will be up against Lamape and us, so it's a huge mismatch to me on paper, and it's going to be a massive task, for the Hurricanes, where they miss the Nonu and the Smith. They bring in Lamape from the Warriors and Vince, so can they step up to that level? I think this is where the Brumbies single-handedly will win this match right through the midfield. They'll target that area, and Kurandrani, he's going to be doing a lot of running straight at us. So another thing I'd like to mention in this match is I'm really keen to see how Thomas Cabelli goes at scrum half for the Brumbies. Another key I want to see for the Hurricanes is Adi Savia as well, number 7, a real future talent for New Zealand rugby. This one I've got the Brumbies 27 points to 12 over the Hurricanes. Okay, moving right along into match number 3, and this one is a massive one as well. Every game in the opening round is massive. I don't know why I keep saying it, but it is the Cheetahs at Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein up against the Jaguars. Now this one, for multiple reasons, I'm so excited to see. Argentina, you name their whole 15, I'm excited to see them play. I'm excited to see them in Super Rugby. That's all I'm going to say about them. I just can't wait to get this game underway. As for the Cheetahs, they have a lot that they need to prove here. Is their team good enough to really compete? Is it good enough to challenge anyone in their pool and look to higher honours? They're going to have the big name for them, Raymond Rule on the left wing. He's got to really command this back line with Fred Zelinger. The rest of the team has to have a question mark about it at this level. I have the Jaguars getting a big opening win, 42-19 over the Cheetahs. That's a massive call. Straight off the whistle, you heard it here first. Moving on to our next match, we're flying through them because I don't want these videos to be too long for a watch. This is my picks, my instant thoughts on these matches. Next up, we have the Japanese new look side, the Sunwolves. And for their first matchup, they're at home in Tokyo and they're up against the Lions. Now, this is a very, very important match for both these sides. The Lions, they need to back up from what was an impressive, overachieving season's performance in 2015. Many will say they need to build on that and they need to become one of the top sides in their pool. Like I said, the Lions are in a pool in my South African conference review. The Lions are in a pool that they could finish top, or they could finish third out of 4. So that's the difference for them. They need to get out there. They need to control this game against the new look Sunwolves team. First match in the competition for them. The Sunwolves, they just need to go out there. They need to just try their systems, run their plays, and just get into the groove. They just need to do it. Just do it. There's been a lot of talk. I'm starting to sound like they're bloody actor now, but they need to get out there and make their way onto the field. They won't know how good they are, how much they can compete until they're out there. They've gone with Pixie at fly half. That's going to be key for them. If he can perform, that is all they need to do. Get out there and dig into the Lions and see how they go, and then go from there for next week. For this one, I've got the Lions coming out on top, 20 points to 12. I think it could be not as high scoring as many people expect, but I think the Sunwolves may take a little bit to adapt into this game. The Lions, they should be just that little bit ahead of where the Sunwolves would be. We make our way back to New Zealand for our next match. It is the Crusaders at home up against the Chiefs. This one is in Christchurch, of course, and this one really has the 50-50 button all over it. I really don't want to pick who will win this match. You've seen in past matches just how tight these two can be, and when they've got superstars throughout, big names here. I think the Chiefs will miss Sonny Bill Williams not there, but they've got Charlie Ngatai and Tamani Valu, who are very good Super Rugby level players. That's going to be key for the Chiefs that works. And Aaron Cruden coming back from that long injury layoff, he will be up against Richie Mwanga. That's going to be a key battle in the number 10. Also on the forwards, I think Stan Kane has a big job alongside probably Brody Retallick, who are the experienced ones to lead this forward pack around. Also, they've named their recent signing, only happened a day or two ago, Yamashita, the tight head prop, coming straight into the starting team. It's going to be big for the Chiefs if he can step up as well. For the Crusaders again, it's Richie Mwanga. He's got the first nod. He needs to get well out to Nemani Nadolo, who's going to be a big name for the Crusaders once again in his final season. I've got the Crusaders coming out on top for this one, but by almost the slenderest of margins, 31-29, Crusaders stealing the points off the Chiefs. Remarkably so, we've already had 5 matches we've looked at, and there's still 4 to go. Next up, we're off to Australia. We're off to Sydney Football Stadium to see the New South Wales Waratahs up against the Queensland Reds. Now, I have to say I'm not being too impressed by what the Queensland Reds have put together, but I do credit them for rebuilding and looking to the future throughout their squad. The key men for them are going to be the ones that have the experience at this level and their transfers, their forwards especially, the likes of Ben Daly, Saifang, Greg Holmes, Caden Neville, Rob Simmons, Hendrick Tui, Curtis Browning and Jack Schatz have to be key in the scene. They have to dominate the forwards if they're going to give their backs, who have that ability but we haven't seen enough of it, to get into the game. Jake McIntyre, he's going to be crucial, and he needs a good match if they're going to perform very well, the Reds, in this match against the Waratahs. As for the New South Welshmen, you know, they've got the stars all through this side. Curtly Beale starting at 10, which is an interesting call to have him getting the nod there. Zach Guilford outside him on the left wing. That's always an interesting call to have Zach in the team anywhere. Israel Folau needs to come back from what was a disappointing 2015 as well. But all in all, it comes down to the forwards for this. Same for the Waratahs. I have them coming out pretty big winners as well. 38 points to 16 over the Reds, just for the talent in the back line. The forward pack could be pretty well evenly matched. It will be a nice battle, but the backs will get sizzling, and the Waratahs will run away with this one. Okay, we still have 3 matches to go, so kicking straight on. There's the Force versus the Rebels in Perth. Now this is going to be another one, I think, that will be very, very tightly contested. Plenty of big names here heading away to the Rebels, which I'm excited to see. Mike Harris, Dom Shipley, Tamati Ellison, Mitch Inman and Rex Hodge along the backline wingers, centres and fullbacks. Jack DeBrasini gets the nod at 10, but I'm surprised they've put in Ben Meehan at number 9. It must be an injury to Sturzaker that sees him out of that number 9 jumper. Pretty good forward pack as well for the Rebels. Sean McMahon, Adam Thompson, Luke Jones, Laurie Weeks, James Hanson, Toby Smith working their way back. I'm impressed by the Rebels look so far, and they could be a decent team. They could give some teams a fright when they're starting to get some recognisable names in this one. The Force, I think They will go down in this match. The Rebels will take it by a whisker. 24-22 is my prediction. Just the Force won't have the power to get there. They've got some good recruitments. They've got some key players. Luke Morahan will be one they'll need to really target on there. John O'Lance starting at 10, which will be interesting. How will Marcel Braki go on the left wing as well? Will be interesting as well. Is he an out-and-out winger that has the pace to really challenge his opposite number, which will be Dom Shipley as well? Big calls right there. The Force pick Calvin Nathan Charles, Steve Murphy. Big names. Matt Hodgson, of course, as always, has to lead his team from the front. So again, Rebels 24-22 over the Force. Now we make our way over to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth for the Kings at home to the Sharks. Now, if you watch my review on these two sides from their conferences, you may notice that I don't think the Kings are going to go too well this season. I was, however, quite impressed with the Sharks. They have a great number of very talented Super Rugby and renowned players who can win a match here. Willie Leroux, fullback, he needs to find some form. He needs to keep the ball in hand. That's what they need from the Sharks. Paul Jordan starts at outside centre. Volvo's there. Joe Peterson gets a nod at 10 for the Sharks, as we expected as well, with the injuries to their fly halves there. Pat Lambie, a very good forward pack, outstanding front row. There's not much more you can ask from the Sharks. The Kings, on the other hand, like we mentioned when we looked at this whole squad, Jurgen Visser is going to be huge. Alga Watts starts at 10 as well. He's going to be massive for them if he can find his feet and really direct a match, which we haven't seen much from him at all. In the forwards, Stephen Sykes has to be a big one for them. Can he step up and lead the side with the captain's armband? It's going to be a big call for the Kings. It's going to be a big challenge. But the Sharks are going to have to play pretty badly to lose this one. I've got them coming away with a 44-9 victory over the Kings. Okay, we've done it. We're at the end. We have one match left to go. It is the Stormers versus the Bulls at Newlands Stadium in Cape Town. What a great start to the season this could be for the Stormers, and I really like the look of their team. Plenty of talent out there. They've not gone full hog, I've noticed here, the Stormers. They've seemed to sit a bit back in reserve, but they've got the names through there. I'm really interested to see their second row, Ebenezer Beath and Peter Steph de Toit, get themselves together and put up a partnership which could be great for South African rugby on an international level. De Jong in the backs as well will be big. Cheslin Colby, expecting fireworks from him for the Stormers. As for the Bulls, like we spoke about when we looked at their squad as well, Serfontaine and Creel, they're going to be the keys for them. Francois Brummer, he's got to really stick it out with Rudy Page. Their partnership working is going to be key to their season. As we know, their forward pack is pretty decent, especially in front row. Naikani, Strauss and Van der Merwe. That's where they'll look to assert dominance as well against the Stormers front row, which they should have a little advantage over. At the end of the day, I've got the Stormers this one 26 points to 20 to wrap up round one of the 2016 Super Rugby season. So there you go. That is my picks for round one. A quick recap of the winners: Highlanders, Brumbies, Jaguars, Lions, Crusaders, Waratahs, Rebels, Sharks and Stormers, all to pick up round one wins. Some of them quite big ones as well from my side of the fence. Alright, that wraps up for today. A short one just to get in the groove. The picks are away. Super Rugby starts tonight. It is just hours away from kickoff. Let me know what your thoughts are as well. I hope you get to see this before too much of the action comes your way. And I'll see you again next week for a review of round one. And again, a quick look at what's coming up at round two when we have a look at how wrong, all right, I may well be following this weekend of matches. So thanks for tuning and watching. Hope you're enjoying. If you like seeing this kind of thing, give the video a thumbs up and let me know that you do enjoy watching these. And I'll see you all again very soon for plenty more Super Rugby previews and reviews. Until then, take care.